archduchy, which is sort of odd. And I think they're also on a electoral type of system there as well. It's kind of weird, but I mean, it works. I personally have never played as them, so I don't really know. Usually Austria in my games is just this sort of omnipotent thing that's there, and it'll of course occasionally harass our lions, do stuff like that. So here we go. I think I'll send a fleet over to Antwerpen to collect some cash. That'll give us a 10% sort of share into that area. Austria controls the vast majority of the trade here, and we should be we're taking home a slight amount of cash from here. We could also send this fleet over to, say, the Baltic Sea to extract some trade from here. Actually, that might be seem more profitable. So currently 3.42 is being moved, 4.3 is being just sort of kept into that trade node. Let's get this ship to rebound to Baltic, because we already have a small presence there. So hopefully when this ship convoy arrives, they will buff that up. No, that's actually not going to buff that up considerably. Well, actually, I think it's slightly more than what we are siphoning off of Antwerpen, but I mean, either way, we had to put our 6th merchant somewhere, so we'll do that. Ooh, actually, it looks like Novograd here is the place that we need to go to, because that is Novograd evidently has quite a lot of trade inside it, and so long as we can grab a bigger share, it will funnel more, of course, into the Baltic Sea region, which will float back to us slightly better. So we'll do that. And I think we'll actually increase our trade fleets by, say, one more step later on as well. But for now, it's 1511, so that's decent. We'll wait 4 more years before, say, pursuing any sort of aggressive action. Austria's still pretty mad at us. I think they also want quite a few of our provinces as well here. So with that said, let's actually see what this archduchy thing gives them. Quite a few things. They're at war with France, and they evidently are losing too. So that is actually pretty good. That's a good situation for us here. And I might be able to actually just sort of take over Brandenburg if Austria leaves their coalition there. So that's one thing that we sort of have to manage. In the meantime, I think we'll build a few more of these, say, training fields here and there, just so that in the event that we have another big war, we won't, say, have such a big problem with the whole keeping up of cash thing. And I think I'll also build a string of forts inside my lower territories over here, mainly due to the fact that that'll help us hold them, of course, and that'll just sort of be a sort of a thing to keep people away, I guess would be the word for it, a deterrent, in other words, for the invaders coming from down there. Right, so all of these projects will finish, and afterwards that should help us out as well. And let's see, we control 56% of the trade sort of value over here. Denmark evidently has 40% maximum income over here, so that's actually really impressive. They must have a minister working on that. Let's see. I wonder if I take over the Austria or the Denmark's lands over here of these two provinces. I want to get this sound toll bonus, because that'll definitely sort of solidify our powers there even more. That'll be pretty useful. Muscovy over here is actually growing quite powerful. They are actually quite a sizable chunk of the world right now. Yeah, so I'm not too sure if whether or not we can, say, go to not go to war, but keep whether or not we can just sort of press into Denmark. Well, I suppose that would imply that we'd have to go to war. Right, so it looks like we built a whole bunch of new improvements, so that's one good thing. gonna grab a few more of these techs because I think the technologies are still quite far away. And it looks like it's time to do some vassalization. So hopefully they didn't change anything and you can sort of vassalize two groups at once. So of course this will cost us, say, some points in, of course, relation with other nations. But again, I think we'll just sort of have to wait that out, seeing as how currently we're building up quite a lot of heat. The other thing we could do is that, like I said, we could invade Ireland just because, you know, core their provinces and get a start on colonization. I mean, of course, that push, that, oh, there's evidently Castilian Canada going on over here. But I mean, that would give us a start in colonization, and then, I mean, as a trade league, we definitely would be able to generate a ton of revenue coming from to sort of colonization as well. So that's also another possibility, but I don't know if that would be, say, one of the better things that we can do here. So yeah, that's sort of one thing there. Let's see. Yeah, integration is slow, things are going on like that. And it looks like we got a new longbow army as well. How is our military doing? Are we under the cap? Yes, we are. Alright, so that's good. So we gained a few more military troopers at least, and it looks like we increased our naval force limit by even more as well. So that's good. And after the second integration, that'll also increase it even more. Come on. And evidently we're building a early Karak, so we'll just let that sort of continue. And yikes, Muscovy is actually getting really, really big with Poland over here in support as well. So we might have to do something about that soon, later on. Assuming that we want to go over there, of course. And it looks like, there we go, we've integrated another port. Some rebels have popped up, that's fine, though we can put them down fairly easily like that. Or actually, perhaps not. These rebels are... they look like they're doing some massive damage to our troops, actually. So, right, that'll sort of finish off that area. And, of course, I think this will add a fair amount to our source of revenue. Actually, it'll sort of decrease it by a slight amount too, because of course we have a bigger army and more provinces to just sort of manage. So speaking about our provinces, let's actually see what zones we're in. So it looks like we're starting to encroach into Frankfurt area, and it looks like we have the second most sort of trade power there, just behind the Palatinate over here. They have 73, we have 67.5, but overall this is a very diverse trade zone over here. And I think if I go back to our trade inland bonuses currently, we have a better trade steering there of 20%, so that's sort of just that. And I think those are just sort of passive bonuses that they've introduced to make the trading inland, say, semi-worth it there. So we have those people there. We could, in theory, build a few market places. That would help us out. And of course, we have a few different bonuses that will help us out there. So I think we'll buy two, because that's oh, that one's already built there. Can we build one in Hanover? No, that's already built as well. So we'll try to give us a slight bonus as over there like that. And we have a few provinces getting into the orange zone here, that is Antwerp, and so that'll just sort of do its thing. I guess there's really not much we can do outside of that. And alright, it's 15-15. So I think that, yeah, that annual sort of modifier will go down gradually. I mean, now it looks like most of our sort of negative relation is coming from annexing members of the Holy Roman Empire over here, which is a bit of a concern, but I mean, say it's not too bad. And over here, I'm just going to check Muscovy again. I'm going to check whether or not, say, they are really fronting over there. Muscovy's invading the Crimea. Oh no. So they'll do their thing. And at least we're extending our sort of map view into that direction. So at least that's kind of good. And let's see. It looks like Austria is still just sort of in a coalition against us, which is rather unfortunate. And in the meantime, I think we'll just leave things off right here because there's quite honestly not, say, too many plays that we can make right now. The only other one that we could do is, again, just hypothetically, we could declare like a random war with Ireland and just sort of blitz them for the sake of colonizing later on. But I think at this point we'll have to suffer the fate of waiting quite a few years, seeing as how there's really nothing else I think that we can do here. I mean, everything else is either in the Holy Roman Empire, protected by Austria and its coalition, or like things like Denmark and Sweden here, who have absurdly powerful alliances. One thing that we could do is that I think, yeah, we still have these trade dispute sort of disagreements with people. And with that said, we actually have one against Saxony, which is something I didn't know about. But we might be able to, say, go over to these people. Go to Capital Province. No, these people are fairly close by. These people. We could go to Venice and then blitz their, like, 2 provinces over here. That would give us a nice base of operations in the Mediterranean. And that might allow us to, say, front into maybe the Italian city-states over here. We could maybe like grab a few of the minor ones here and there, so that is one possibility. But I think we'll save that for next time. I'm just glad that we sort of survived the Austrian invasion here, and the Let's Play will just sort of continue. So yeah, again, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye till then.